Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? So, sorry about the late upload today. I am unfortunately dealing with some issues I've had. I had a couple problems recently. I went and recorded all the matches for this amazing Manga SogeKing tournament, and sadly, as I was uploading all of them to my Dropbox to then transfer to my PC, I actually ended up having two of the videos get corrupted somehow, and I was not aware of that, so I was under the assumption I had already uploaded all of them, and so I delete all of them off of my phone, since I'm like, hey, cool, it's on my PC. Nope, not the case, and yeah, unfortunate. But we're hopping into game 3 here because I, don't have some of the recordings, and we're up against my man Tyler. I am playing Katakuri this weekend. It was super fun to play. It was not so fun in certain instances because, I think that this deck is, it's such a blast to play, but it's so reliant on, just getting really lucky out of your life. I mean, you can set up your life arguably with using your leader ability, but it's mostly just kind of, getting lucky out of life that sets you up for a good early game or mid game position. Then putting some of those cards that are really necessary at the bottom of your life to, survive and protect yourself end game. And we both roll a 10 here, which was pretty funny. And then I get a 6, and I think he rolls again and wins the dice roll. So he got another 10. Chooses to go second. I got first, and I if I remember correctly, I think I mulliganed my hand. Just didn't feel like I was going to get much use out of that. I had like 2 of the blockers and some counters and 1 searcher, so I really wasn't feeling it. But yeah, I did also forget my playmat today, so shout out to my man Medina, one of the fucking legends over at the booster box. Absolutely hooked me up with a really nice playmat to use for the day. And I think it brought me some good luck because we did decently. I would say we did pretty poorly to start off the tournament. It was not so great in the very beginning. I was struggling to find, what I needed in the first couple of matches, but we ended up doing really well later on into the day. And I put down Pudding first, search out the Sanji. He's going to play down Izo and pick up that Jozu. There's that Whitebeard Pirates. Just trying to find all the stuff he needs, the necessary counters, all that good stuff. And he picks up another Izo, just goes ahead and passes the turn. We'll go up to 3, and I think this is looking like, at least from what I saw in my hand, it looks like we just have a lot of 4-cost cards. I'll just swing really heavy, and I do look at my top life and put it down at the very bottom. So usually speaking, that's going to be one of a few things for me. It's going to be either, the blocker Brûlée. It's going to be a 2K counter. It could be Ikaku's Sovereignty. I might have even moved Thunderbolt down at the very end, but I am showing my hand right now. I've got 10-drop Big Mom, Daifuku, Shirahoshi, Sanji, a cracker. I think 2 crackers. Yeah. But he will swing 5 at life. I know that he'll just swing 6 right afterwards, so I'll go ahead and take. We pick up 7-drop Big Mom, and I'll just counter out with that Sanji, just so that he has less information about what's in my hand. And playing Sanji in this matchup wouldn't really do me any good anyways, but I'll just go ahead and swing 2 at the Izo and get rid of, just get rid of that card. I don't want him to be able to swing multiple times each turn. And he does take this life as I swing for 7. We do have 4 Dawn remaining, so it's looking like it's probably going to just be like Daifuku. Yeah, either Daifuku or Cracker. Cracker doesn't get as much value in this matchup simply because my opponent's always going to be at lower life. But yeah, the following turn, since we're going first, is 7-drop Big Mom's going to be real nice. Real nice. That's gonna feel good. But he does swing 6, and I counter out with Strusen. He uses Otama and then 5-drop Marcos, my little what do you call it? Daifuku right there. And I do choose to go 5 at the Izo. I will just play the 7-drop and he trashes a card. It happens to be Radical Beam, so I'm super happy right now. I'm very, very content with that turn of events. Worked out really well for me, and honestly couldn't be happier. Like, there's just these moments where yellow has like just the perfect the perfect moments, whether it's taking care of your opponent's life or taking care of your life. It just feels like everything kind of goes your way. He does swing 7, and no trigger there. He swings 7 again. I'm deciding whether I want to counter out or take the life, and I do choose to, and no trigger yet again. So that was like a recurring theme of my matches, was essentially just drawing into some of my bigger cards in life and not particularly getting some of the more useful triggers. But I do choose to use 8-drop Katakuri here. I bounce the Marco back to his hand, and then I believe that I just I slap one underneath my Katakuri, and I swing 7, take a peek at my top life, 7 at the Marco. He's either got to drop a 2k counter or he's got to drop an event from hand to bring it back. He knows that I do have the Lin swing right afterwards, though. So he's kind of got to decide whether he's going to let it go or not. And he does decide to just let it go. And now I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to swing with Lin here. I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Because if I swing, he gets Marco and is able to put it down in the same turn. I don't want to give him that. I would rather him have to draw into it. So I choose not to swing with Lin. I have enough counter in hand, I believe, to get out of, maybe 1 or 2 swings. If he decides to go pretty heavy with maybe 7 cost Rush Ace, or I guess he would be at 9 Dawn, right? So I guess he could have potentially gone for 9 drop, but he will just use the Marco, leave 2 active, and yeah, Marco's a card. We can get rid of it the following turn, but we definitely got to get something on board, knowing that we only have 1 life left. And if I remember correctly, I did save Ikaku's Sovereignty from that first search that I did with leader ability and put it as my last life in this matchup. But yeah, I'm still trying to consider whether using 10 drop is the play here, or if I should try and go pretty aggressively with some of the cards that I have in hand and try and build a board. But he does counter out with a 2k and a 1k right there. I'll swing 8 yet again. There's an Otama and a Thatch to get out and go up to 9. And then I am just going to play the 10 drop. I feel like I have enough counter in hand to be able to survive, especially with Ikaku's Sovereignty. It's making basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make my opponent feel as though he knows that my board is just a little too big to handle at the moment. So if he goes for the game, he's got to go for it, pretty hard. And with the, with him only having 6-drop Thatch as well as leader, I felt pretty confident. But then he throws down 3 Machinos, swings 9, and I'm like, oh boy, okay, here we go. Gonna swing 9, and I'll just go ahead and take. I will play Parasparrow, so we get that out of life, and I'll just trash my other Parasparrow in hand, so we get to play the card for free, more or less. And this is just going to be 10k at life. I believe I know that I have the counter in hand, or maybe I don't have the counter in hand. I think I do, but I choose not to counter out, and I just go ahead and use Ikaku's Sovereignty. And he knew that right there, it was like, that was going to be game. He had to go for it, and if he wasn't able to get it, then I had it. Because, putting down 3 2k counters to pump that up, that's pretty rough. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird match. I think he wasn't able to draw into multiple Marco blockers, and yeah, putting the Marco down that late, it just kind of like spelt game essentially if I had Thunderbolt in hand, which I don't think I did. But yeah, Thunderbolt into the Marco and then just go for game with, the 2 8Ks as well as leader swing. Yeah, we definitely would have been looking pretty good. But that was a solid match, and I felt pretty good about it because I usually speaking against Whitebeard, I'm like, this is gonna be a really uphill battle, you know. But love games against my man Tyler here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, peace.